Hi viewers, welcome to Malham. I guess this is an unofficial running subtitle, The Best of Britain, the Best of British. Now, if you watch until the end, you're going to hear the big rant. I say it, and I think it's important with what's happening around the world right now. And I also want to say that maybe, just maybe, the only real death is the corruption of your spirit, spiritual death. We're all going to die, we're all going to hopefully grow old and pass away. But if we can make it to that without corruption, without bitterness, without evil entering our souls, when Jesus overcame the world, he did so. He willingly gave up his corporeal, his body, because he knew that eternity is for those who believe in a thing called love. And real death comes when you put Satan's phallus in your mouth and you start sucking. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. It is the 14th of November, 2023, and we're in Malham. Malham deep in Yorkshire Dales. And first thing to note is that Waterlogged continues. It has not stopped raining. Well, for the whole month. A fortnight of rain. And the ground is fully waterlogged. It's full. I just want to show you this little bridge over the stream. Former stream, now a raging torrent. Wonder how many times this thing's been washed away and then rebuilt. But I'm going to show you a bit more of Malham town. Sorry, Malham village. And then we're going to go have a look at the cove. Not Cottagers Cove, Malham Cove. So, Yorkshire Dales, like the Forest of Bowland, is a national park, which means that no one's allowed to build new residences or open businesses here. And it means that the original houses and businesses end up looking very quaint, very pretty. Malham Village Hall, don't worry about Walter Morrison. He was a conscientious landowner. Look at this bad boy. I'm going to get you a close-up of that post box. It's from the Georgian era. Georgian era, I hear you say, Charlie. Yes, my G. The Buck Inn. The Buck Inn. What we really need to do is name a countryside pub the Fuming. Let's go look at the cove. Not sure if it's abandoned or closed for the low season. But who wants frogs in a bag for £1.50? Frogs in a bag, anyone? An old-fashioned steel smithy. Smithy, handcrafted items from the Heritage Forge. Amazing. I love it. The rain has just begun, so we're going to get in the car, go to the cove, and see how it compares to Cottagers Cove. What do you reckon, guys? Can we drive across there? Doesn't look that deep. This guy here's going to reverse all the way down. Maybe not. Oh, I don't rate his chances. Don't do it. He's brave. Look at that. The time to come to the Yorkshire Dales is in the middle of November, in between all the massive Atlantic storms that Britain is enjoying. It's very wet. And, countryside walks, just like certain body parts, work better with lubrication. And there is plenty of that today. So Beck Hall, he's probably the closest hotel to the cove, and he says guests only. There's another. So I was going to park here, but I thought, oh, could be a bit small town versus the city slicker. And he's got his big hair. That's a hair. But look what this guy in the middle of nowhere has had to do with his car park. He's had to put a kind of big city entry code thing there because obviously, look at this prime car park real estate. We're only minutes from the cove. And I wanted to park here, but no. His anti-tourist barrier has worked. There's two city slicker couples up ahead of me. Bloody tourists. So I hung back to talk about the car park and get away from them. It says here on this little B road, national speed limit applies. I've just been up there seeing if I could park closer to the cove. Of course not, but if anyone tried to do 60 miles an hour on that single track, no passing spot, tiny hillside road, you may as well join Hamas. Or what's the other one? Islamic Jihad. They'll take you. It's a lot of water for one valley. That stream is very full. There's the cove. And I'm going to give my viewers a darling... Sorry, let me start again. I'm going to give my darling viewers a nice talk at the cove, at those white limestone cliffs. It's not Dover. It's not facing France. It's here in the Yorkshire Dales facing Lancashire. But we'll make it work. Well, the cove beckons, as does the blue sky. Maybe. Imagine I get illuminated by Helios for my talk. Wouldn't that be something? Almost there, viewers. I just want to show you. See all this water here? Would you agree that's a lot of water? All this water comes from the next few hundred meters of valley. From the cliffs to these rolling hills. All here. And you're wondering, surely not. Surely that must be coming from somewhere else. No. Let me see if I can give you an idea of how wet it is. Here we go. Let me get the viewfinder out. The whole hill is full of water. Can you see that? Full of water. And as a kid, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, surely that would run out in a few minutes. But there's so much moisture in these hills. Ooh, Ursa. As I get closer to the source, this much water seems almost unbelievable. There is a little pathway over the bridge, but I'm not wearing high boot. I wouldn't do that anyway. I've seen enough videos on the internet to know how that would end up. Not for me. Erosion from the vast quantities of water coming, in this case, subterraneously. And then it goes under here and boom, into there. And look how close we are now, guys. Not long. Have I told you guys how wet it is? It's wet, wet, wet. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. And love is all around me. It's everywhere I go. Let's go there. Swella Braverman has been sacked, the Home Secretary, loved by the silent majority of God-fearing, decent English, Scottish, Welsh and Northern Irish British people. Government in disarray, moving away from the centre-right towards the centre-left, and they're meant to be a right-wing government. Absolute votes of no confidence coming in for Rishi Sunak. A gentleman who is maybe out of his depth. He never prepared that he would have to deal with a fifth column of a hyper-fertile community with a holy book, with whole chapters hell-bent on how to dominate the non-believers, how to bring the crescent and the star to the apostates, to the heretics, to the heathens, which is myself. I am shocked by this river. I'm going to turn it around and show you. Shogun you. Whoa. Wawa. What's going on here? Where is all this water coming from? I don't believe it's from over there. It must be coming from... Wait a minute. We'll figure it out, viewers. We'll get there. Someone has put paving stones down for the tourists. I do not approve. Follow the White Rabbit. Follow the White Rabbit and you're going to hear Charlie Veitch give the talk of the millennium. I am Jack's unbelieving cognitive function. Where is all this water coming from? We've reached a dead end. We've reached the cliffs of Malham, the cliffs of Malham Cove. And unless there's a hole, there might be. Sometimes you find a lot of moisture in a hole. A geo hole. Dirty-minded viewers. But Britain is the land of the Benny Hill double entendre. Double entendre. We do like a saucy joke. Us Brits, oh, there's a felled tree. A fallen tree. How am I going to get around this? I know how, I'll step over it, but that's not the story here. Oh my God. Oh my God. A few berries. Yeah, that tree is foobarred. We'll have to step over it. Yeah, my goodness. It has been a bit windy. We are storm after storm after storm. Oh, there he is. There's a stump. Stumpy boy did not make the last storm. And maybe it was a dead tree. Maybe he wasn't doing so well. Oh, shit. Okay, now this gets interesting. I'm going to I need both hands because it's very slippery rocks. I'm going to navigate this and then come back to you, dear viewers. We are through, dear viewers. We're going to follow the source. Follow this river. It must be coming out of a hole. It can't just be... That's too much water. It doesn't make any sense. Atheists be like, when they finally appreciate the glory of God's kingdom and the infinite love He has for all of us as His children. I found the source of this river, this raging river. There's two sources, and they're both holes. They're two holes very close to one another. Let's go and have a look. Wah wah wee wah! Right, I think we're going to leave Umbrella Boy here. Umbrella Boy, you stay there. And wow, 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 wow. There's about 60 meters of white rock above my head. There's an overhang where it's threatening to jump on me. It could fall down at any second. Haters be like, go on, rock. Take him out. Take him out. And yep, it's a subterranean, it's two subterranean sources. Source number one. Source number two, over there. Very good. Let's see if we can get a close-up. Let's get a close-up. Here we go. Let's go in. Let's go in. Amazing. I love it. All right, viewers, I have found some old, well, they're roots, but people have hammered coins into them. Why have they done this? What does it mean? Some of them are new, some of them are very old. There's at least £1.50 of coppers and 5p's and 10p's here. Why would they do that? And it goes all the way down to the river's edge. Can you see that? Is it coming up okay on the screen? Let me check the big screen here. Yeah, I think you can see it. What is it? What is it? Why would they do that? And what has carved that small pool? And what has carved these two channels here? What the hell? What is that? Anyway, let's go past that big rock and find a good ranting spot. Hi everyone, Charlie Veach here at Malham Cove. You've had a look. Now here's how I really feel about things right now. Now, Great Britain is a Christian kingdom. It has been for a long time, and it will be forever, until a better idea comes along. But the idea of a sinless man who is literally God made flesh, who wanted nothing but eternal love and salvation and grace and kindness for everyone, I think you're going to struggle to top that idea. Now, 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ himself, he willingly mounted the cross. He knew what was coming. He knew what suffering he was going to endure. And right now in Great Britain, we need to willingly challenge the things which are trying to destroy God's kingdom of beauty, love, and truth. The Holy Trinity for atheists, if you want. Love, truth, and beauty. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It's the same thing, using different languages. When Jesus willingly mounted the cross in the Holy Land, he did so for you, for me, for future generations, his parents, all the people before him. He did it for the Jews. He did it for the coming Christians. And right now, in 2023, we can feel it, can't we? That 1930s feeling, that rising fascism, that rising anger in the cost of living crisis, the inflation crisis, the the kind of loose ends, the untied loose ends from COVID and the tyranny that COVID brought to these shores and the way people lost their minds. We're not recovering. We're not recovering. And then, in the greatest, in terms of numbers, probably better to say the most horrific mass murder attack since September the 11th, 2001, was October the 7th, 2023, when a 9-year ceasefire, 9 years of peace, of little kids growing up, little kids going to school, little Yitzhak, little Mohammed, little Nadia, little Noah, getting ready for school, going to their places of worship, eating a hearty breakfast, kissing their mummy and daddy goodbye, and going to school to learn, to be a better person. But some people, some fascists, and they are fascists now with a religious face. Fascism with a religious face. Fascism talking of God and how great God is. On October the 7th, that demonic fascism visited peace-loving, normal people. Over 1,000 massacred. And the world's forgotten. Not me, not you. Viewers of this channel tend to be a bit more cognitive than others. But all over the world now, the rising fascism, the Nuremberg marches, the Nuremberg rallies, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And once again, just like the greatest generation did in the late 30s, the early 40s and the mid 40s, we need to stamp out this fascism, this rising hatred. And if you want to get biblical again, this Cain energy. It's the simplest story. One guy loves God, does well, works hard. He reaps some good agriculture. The other guy sits at home, gets angry, hates God, hates himself, hates having to work, hates the effort. And it's easier to destroy than it is to create. Which is why all over the Middle East, these suckers of the satanic phallus, they are finding it so much easier to destroy than to create. See those 20 billion euros from the European Union? It's a lot of effort building schools, hospitals, infrastructure, setting up a social service thing to help those in need. It's hard work. Much easier just to smuggle in a few weapons and to declare yourself the eternal warrior, the eternal jihadist. Because it's so much easier to destroy than to create anything of value. And once again, we Christians, like we were asked in the 1930s, we are once again being asked to come to the defense of our cousins, the Jews. All over the world now, Jews being attacked. Don't even feel safe in Britain. Don't feel safe in France. After October the 7th, you'd think the world would be mourning the kidnap and the murder of so many babies. But no, all over the world, people declaring jihad, attacking with knives, with cars. In the West Bank, a 12-year-old girl was knifed and her life ended. Because what? Because what? That cathartic need to destroy. That you're right, aren't you? Yeah, you've... So once again, and how are we going to do this? I'll speak for Great Britain, and maybe it's the same in America, Germany, France. But the first thing we need to do is we need to ban these tacit pro-Hamas marches. I'm a massive free speech guy, but free speech has its limits. When you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of oftentimes crazy ideologues with a low IQ, screaming from the river to the sea as you play them Hamas propaganda videos, accusing the Israelis of this and that, and all this bullshit, doing this on purpose. Some of the bullshit propaganda, and it's spread by accounts on Twitter, on X, Facebook, YouTube. Once again, we need to stamp out this rising fascism, because appeasement is not going to work. Did it work in World War II? Oh, he just wants Poland. He just wants the Czech Republic. Oh, he just wants a bit of Paris. It's okay, don't worry, he'll be fine. It wasn't fine. Tens of millions butchered. Young men, young Christian men, for no reason. Because their fellow Christians in Germany got seduced by a fascist, totalitarian, demonic, Satan-filleting ideology. And it needs a scapegoat. Needs a scapegoat. Needs a scapegoat. So we need to ban the tacit pro-Hamas marches. Anyone that shouts There's a big group of hikers coming down the hill. I don't want to scare them with my shouting. This is a peaceful area. Anyone who shouts from the river to the sea, that is a call for genocide. That should be punished as harshly as any other incitement of murder, incitement of terrorism. There's a reason why you cannot go on YouTube and give commandments about how to wipe out a people from the River Jordan to the Mediterranean Sea. They need to face the full force of the law. Another thing we need to do, we need to ban the burqa. We also, alongside banning the burqa so that we're not hypocrites, we need to ban men from wearing balaclavas in the city centres. Young men covering their faces. I've been victim of a group of young men feeling fearless. Maybe they're not even clever enough to cognisize the abstract, that they're destroying their own lives, trying to destroy a YouTuber and take his camera. You're destroying your own life. Your destiny is to be lying in a pool of blood, of your own blood, down some dark alleyway, or to be in jail sharing a cell with Big Bubba, and Bubba is feeling horny. So what are you doing? I cannot believe in 2023 Jewish people are having to justify their self-defense. They're having to justify wiping out the latest ISIS. And people are like, no! Hundreds of thousands going on marches in Europe, London, Berlin. I know they've banned it in Germany. Deutschland über alles. Good on you, Germans. We need to ban these tacit marches. I never thought I would see in Austin, Texas, people flying the Palestine flag, tacitly supporting Hamas on the back of a horse. Green smoke, shouting from the river to the sea. Once again, I'm asking my viewers, we're going to have to do it, aren't we? We're going to have to, because it's the right fucking thing to do. We're going to have to defend and save our Jewish cousins. Not because we're Jews, but because we're not Satanists. We're not monsters. We see what the Jews are trying to do in Israel. They're trying to create something out of nothing. They're trying to create a beautiful green land out of a desert. And they believe in it. The fertility of Jewish people in Israel is still above replacement levels. They're believing in the future. Go forth and multiply. God looked down upon his kingdom and he saw that it was good. So faced with a weak government, it's no surprise that a bunch of what we would describe as far-right hooligans decided to defend the cenotaph. They don't see any power in this government. They don't see any power in the police force treating genocidal maniacs calling for the destruction of the Jewish people, treating them with kids' gloves. I'm sorry, enough's enough. And people talk about, oh, beware the populists. Beware the populists. Populism is just giving the public what they want, which is what democracy should be. And so unless the government grabs this rising 1930s fascism by the balls, there's going to be the nastiest civil war we've ever seen. And that's not good for anyone. And so I just want to say to my Jewish viewers, we've got your backs. You don't need your backs gotten in Gaza, in the Golan Heights, in the north against Hezbollah. You've got your own backs. But worldwide, we're not going to let the Holocaust happen again. We've not forgotten. And it's sad that I have to make this video, because hundreds of millions around the world, not only have they forgotten, but so many of them have been seduced by this demonic fascist ideology with a religious face, talking about God, demonic ideology, talking about God. This is Charlie Veach at Malham Cove on the 14th of November, 2023. Thanks for listening.